Alright guys, I just want to do a video about how I think that these kit cars, if you get a quality one and build it right, are actually a lot better and more reliable and in some ways more practical than a new car. And there's several reasons why. The first one is, these in my opinion are a lot easier to work on than a modern car. First of all, you build it the way you want to, relatively speaking. I mean, they all fit a similar format. But you could wire it in certain ways. You could do this, that, do the suspension in a certain way where it's adjustable, or you just set it and forget it, and different things like that. One big thing, I'll show you underneath the hood and how easily accessible everything is. One big thing is, you open up here, and just like most cars, I mean, you have a fuse panel right here where you can get to, just take off this AC vent, or you can put an AC vent here and not have that hose right there. But you got the check engine light, you got an OBD2 port. I could take these 4 screws off, take this off, and get to all the wiring underneath the gauges. Now, unfortunately, I have had many electrical gremlins with this car. That's the one thing that I've had issues with. But I've always been able to track it down. So Factory 5 does a really good job. Every single wire, every foot has what it does on it. It will say heater, power, heater ground, oil pressure, sensor on the actual wire insulation itself, which is a big help. Now it's really tight to get into different places here, but I mean the same thing with any modern car. And the interiors seem to get smaller, cars seem to be getting bigger with all the extras they add. Now you can argue a new car is safer, yep. I would agree with that 100%, even with this roll cage, racing seats, and 5-point harness. A modern car probably is safer. Airbags are actually proven to be more safe than, just the restraints themselves. But, I mean, come on, you got the Daytona at least, not so much with the Cobra, but I've seen Cobras roll over and people be completely fine. So you do got safety, practicality. Got a big trunk with the Daytona. You got a decent trunk with the Cobra, and I mean you gotta get what vehicle fits your needs. Like I wanted something more dailyable, so I could just move this carpet here, and there's a battery right underneath here. I can get to that. I got all the fuses for everything back here, the stereo, subs, and everything, and some lights and different things like that right underneath that access panel right there. Very easy to remove. And so you could build it however you want to. You can make everything, totally concealed, and so you don't have to worry about, anybody seeing any bolts, anything. Or you could do just the opposite, make it very easily serviceable. And as you can see, my car is somewhere in the middle. So let's open the hood, and I will show you guys how easy this thing is to work on. Set this right here on the motorcycle. Now there's some places that are kind of tight to get to, especially with this Coyote engine. If we had a small block Ford, it would be so easy to work on. Even a LS. A lot of people don't like that, but I like LS engines. But this one is true to the original, has a Ford engine. The wiring here, easily accessible and everything. Some parts of the bell housing, kind of hard to get to, trying to get underneath here. But what do you have to get to besides the headers there? So, yeah, those headers can be a pain, but, what V8 engine doesn't have headers that are a pain? Like, everything's accessible. I've always been able to easily find any wiring issues. Actually, I've had this clamp come loose, and then the mass airflow sensor fell off and everything. So when I started up, it wouldn't recognize airflow in the engine and wouldn't start. So you got that. That was very easy. Cooling system's very, very easy to get to. And if you take all this stuff off the front, that engine, probably pretty easy to get in and out. Much more than a modern car, though, at least for sure. So everything's accessible, relatively safe. relatively practical. Performance is also as much, on par with. Uh, you're gonna spend $50,000 to $100,000 building this. If you put all, depending if you put all new components in there or donor parts or whatever. But if you put all new, like I did, you got a brand new car. Now it's not going to be as reliable as a brand new car at first because you're going to have to work the bugs out. But once you get the bugs worked out, I think it's pretty much on par, quality-wise, with a new car. New car. I have 10,000 miles on here, and it's been around for 7 years too. So you got to understand, 7-year-old car, and I've driven it through salt, snow, rain, whatever, a bunch, and a little bit of bare metal rust spots here and there. For the most part, it's totally solid. So I just wanted to show you guys that kit cars are actually pretty dang practical, affordable, reliable, and serviceable as well.